Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. Today is Monday, March 4th, and on Mondays we look at the cozy mysteries that are being set into the wild this week over the next few days. And in general, on Mondays we look at cozy mysteries. On Tuesdays we look at mysteries and thrillers. On Wednesdays we look at romance. Thursdays we look at fantasy and science fiction. And on Fridays, it's kind of a free-form day where we see what else catches our attention, but mostly it's because there's so many cozies, we look at more cozies. Hope you had a good weekend. Kim says, good morning. Good morning, Kim. And Mary says, good morning, PK and everyone. Happy Monday. Good morning to you. Hope you had a good weekend. Read good books, rested, and ready to go back at it. Let's jump in. I think we were here. Because we had started on this on Friday. Get rid of that banner. Moonshine, Mayhem, and Murder. Maggie and Irene Cozy Mystery Book number 3 by Kitty Margot. Maggie and Irene take a trip to the Blue Ridge Parkway, intending to relax in a cabin while being serenaded by the soothing sounds of a bubbling creek. At the top of the mountain, Maggie of the weak bladder veers onto a rather foreboding side road to Tinkle, where they become stranded on the wrong side of a swollen creek, and happen upon a mountain man with a few concerning issues and a moonshine still, and a dead grandmother, and a granny witch. Ride with Maggie and Irene as they travel along the humorous side of Mountain Mayhem. Perky is very ambitious for Monday. Music of Death Blues, a Dayu Wu mystery, third in series by Gloria Oliver. A suicide that wasn't, racial prejudice pushing a murder to be swept under the rug. Can Dayu Wu throw back the covers to reveal the killer? Dallas, Texas, 1930. Dayu Wu resigned herself to a life inevitably returning to normal after dipping her toes into the pursuit of justice. But a new case falls onto her lap when she hears screeching tires and a woman calling out in pain. The older lady is wary of her offer to help, but Dayu knows, I apologize if I'm saying that wrong, people aren't kidnapped off the street just to be set free again. Something terrible is coming. As Dayu feared, things take a turn for the worse. The rescued woman's youngest son committed suicide, but for a kidnapping and a suicide to occur to the same family on the same day smells of deviltry. But the police can't be bothered to investigate, so Dayu has no choice but to get involved or risk allowing a killer to run free. That's a pretty cover. Kim said, not perky. Couldn't sleep last night. We'll sleep after Bible study this morning, hopefully. Naps are good. Naps are good. A Deadly Combination by Joy Patrick. Part of Magnolia Manor Mysteries, 6 books, so I imagine this is book number 6. Ah, the 70s, disco, Star Wars, and a heist that baffled the police every decade since. Lily Livingston is celebrating her year mark as owner of Magnolia Manor, but things aren't going exactly as expected. As an FBI unit descends on Drifter's Cove to tackle cold cases from a bygone era, a local billionaire, the elderly Baron Carrington, nears the end with his estate and heirs in question. Meanwhile, more tourists and riffraff pour into once sleepy Drifter's Cove, frustrating Chief Crowder as she struggles to run a tight ship. As tempers flare, one probationer protests his sentence, sparking a deadly conflict. When Lily's friend becomes a prime suspect in the murder, She dives headfirst into small town scandals, encountering shadowy figures and risking her life in the process. So don your bell bottoms and join Lily in a suspenseful ride where past and present collide. May the force be with you. Coincidentally, a friend of mine on Facebook that I went to grade school with posted some pictures from fifth and sixth grade. I am, thanks. Last day of antibiotics for the sinus infection. So that is good. Yeah. I took the last of mine for UTI last Wednesday. All right. Hopefully they did the job. Um, she posted pictures from fifth and sixth grade, which was about 78, 79 in there. And wow, seeing those teachers again and realizing I'm older now than what those teachers were then, which is weird. And looking at what babies we were when you feel so old. I mean, it was just bizarre. And that was the late 70s. Happy Camper Mysteries box set, book 1 through 3 from MS Peak. Adventure never felt so deadly. Cute dog, check. Murder, mayhem, and a bit of whimsy, check. An amateur sleuth who's in way over her head, double check. Download this box set of the Happy Camper Mystery Series and join Winnie Hackleshack as she finds trouble everywhere she goes. If you love cozy mysteries you can't put down, lots of twists and turns, lovable characters, and a side helping of humor, grab your copy of this collection today. And no Ginsu knives are included. I have my own mystery to solve today. Heard a big thump on the roof last night. Tracking down the source of that sound this morning. Hope all is well. Hopefully it's just nature. Murder Takes a Break by J. Pride, second in the Ghosts and Grades Paranormal Cozy Mysteries by Janine Pride. It says J. Pride here, but Janine Pride. Kathy Dorn is looking forward to spring break more than she will admit. Between the whispers from coworkers and suspicion of the town sheriff, she has had enough. Before the final push to the end of the year, Kathy has planned a week of isolation and escape to the lake, free from the judgment of the town. There's only one thing standing between Kathy and her escape to solitude, the ghost of her high school sweetheart's father, which can only mean one thing: murder. As more suspects emerge, Kathy is forced to confront her former flame about his father's demise and the lingering emotions from their past. Well, this one doesn't have a cover, but maybe it has a cover now. Let's see. Yes, it does. Hole in one. Let's double check the dates. Yeah, we're good. This is by Deanie Ray, fifth in the Piper Harris Mysteries. 4 months into their new lives in the Witness Protection Program, Piper and her grand, former members of an illicit motorcycle gang, start to make peace with the fact that this is it. Well, in their own whip out your weapons at every opportunity kind of way. They're part of the retirement complex in Bitter End, Florida, where they hate mostly everything: the climate, the jolly residents, the endless partying and competitive games, like the current mini golf tournament that's costing Piper and Grant their last nerve, and the practically forced socializing. Still, Piper has gotten an official approval from the director of the retirement complex to live with Grant. Open ended. Yikes. But when one of the investors of the retirement complex is murdered and someone has been embezzling funds from the complex, suspicion falls on the director Samuel Appleby. Too bad he bails as soon as the police need to question him. Piper realizes that her living with Gran, still the best of the worst options, depends on Samuel Appleby's position as director. She more or less believes he's innocent, but she needs to prove it too, or else she and everybody else can say goodbye to the good times at the Till the Bitter End independent living complex. This Way to Murder This way. Walk this way. Sure hope so. I got home from church last Wednesday and my front door was, oh no, was wide open. 911 came. The wind was so bad, blew the door open. Door was locked. I hadn't slammed it closed good. Wow. I'm glad it wasn't anything bad. Oh, this is by Shelley Shearer. First in the Board Game Cafe Mysteries. You can jump in on the beginning of a series here. Remy McKenna is co hosting a letterboxing event, but her weekend plans are not all fun and games when best friend Trace Cooper is the target of a stalker. An inheritance of a stone manor house means she hopes this will be the start of her new life in Northern Virginia. Can Remy juggle the event, start planning her game-themed B&B, and solve the mystery of Trace's strange messages? Things escalate into a real-life game of Clue when Remy finds a dead body in the garden. That's a cute cover. Police, not 911, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Phew, Kim, that is scary. Glad it turned out okay. Yeah, no kidding. Woo! Makes your heart. Death at Williamsburg. Third in historic triangle mini cozy mystery, 76 pages by Tracy Wainwright. Moving on. Relics, Rumors, and Robbery. Second in the Bad Omens Investigations series. Let's double check this date because it should say, well, I guess today is March 4th. This is by Tessa Bryant. Pretty cover. Before everything fell apart, Ruby Foster had been enjoying a completely normal day. Then again, normal was relative in Tempest, Texas. As a supernatural safe haven where paranormal beings lived together in the open, normal meant expecting the unexpected, but she didn't think anyone could have imagined a rogue lunch hour robbery at the local diner. Attacking a room full of supernaturals should have been a death sentence, but somehow the thieves managed to incapacitate them all and steal more than just the money in the till. They got away with wallets, watches, and even jewels. More importantly, though, they took the priceless relic that the heir to the Moonlight Pact wore as a symbol of his power and authority right off his finger. Now Ruby must use her years of true crime knowledge and shifter senses to solve the mystery behind the robbery. Unfortunately, her obnoxious, overconfident boss insists on joining her in the investigation to find his stolen ring and unmask the culprits behind the heist. They'll have to work together to track down the thieves, unravel the truth behind the rumors, and put their troublesome past behind them for the sake of the pack. Okay. Oh, I think I've heard of this series when I was looking for pink on the cover for a scavenger hunt. The Pink Ribbon and a Haunted Mansion by Vela Day, 21st in the Witch's Cove Mysteries. Greetings from Witches Cove, Florida. Hi, I'm Glinda Harrison, not your average sleuth. As the co-owner of the Pink Iguana Sleuths and a practicing witch, my methods are unconventional. One of my partners in crime solving is more unique than most. Iggy is my talking pink iguana. I'm out. Who offers his insights that are often rather snarky. Together with my husband Jackson, we're an unbeatable team. Our next case is about to lead us into the heart of a mystery that intertwines the living with the spirits of the past. Nora, a distant relative from California, inherits a hauntingly beautiful mansion from her late uncle Seth, a journalist whose life ended in mystery. With a history of strange occurrences and whispers of ghosts, the house in Witch's Cove is as enigmatic. Drinking game. As the man who left it behind. It's not just any haunted house, it's a nexus of secrets holding the keys to a story that was never told. That's where I came in. to help get rid of these ghosts, but never did I expect to find creaking floors and chilly halls that were filled with echoes of the past, conversations, secrets, and cries for justice. Wish me luck. When you live alone, your imagination can be your own worst enemy, or so it seems to me. Oh, definitely. Yes, as soon as I called, I realized what had probably happened, but I'm glad they came and checked. I've never had the wind be that strong. You never know. It was a good thing, because if you didn't, you might have needed to. So I'm glad you did. Kim says exactly. I hate living alone. Here, I have two corgis that live with me, so I'm never really alone. They are a distinct and loving presence. And Kim, I would give anything to have a dog again, but my mobility issues won't let me. Shoot. I suppose cats would be the same kind of situation. I'm not a cat person, never had one, but I don't know. Murder at the Island Hotel by Helena Dixon. 15th in the Miss Underhay Mysteries. Spring 1936. As the boat draws into the harbor of Bird Island, Kitty is absolutely delighted to see the stunning hotel for the first time. She and her friend Alice have been asked to join the distinguished guests before the hotel officially opens its doors, but they have barely unpacked when the owner is found dead in his own study. Sir Norman's death looks like suicide, but Kitty isn't convinced. She cannot find a note, and he is left-handed but was shot on the right side of his head. Kitty tries to reach the police, but a violent storm engulfs the island and the power goes out. Kitty and Alice need to move quickly before anyone else finds death on their dinner menu. With several old friends amongst their suspects, Kitty decides the investigation should stay secret. But it's not until Kitty uncovers Sir Norman's financial difficulties that she's on the killer's trail. Can Kitty and Alice catch the culprit in time for tea, or will they become the next guests on the murderer's list? I do like this next title. Murder and the Scent of Nutmeg by L.B. Hathaway, 16th in the Posey Parker Mysteries. What if everything you hold dear is torn apart by one fateful meeting? Valentine's Day, 1926. Uh-oh. When Posey Parker, London's premier female detective, accidentally runs into an old family acquaintance, she is persuaded to leave town immediately and return to the place of her childhood roots, the beautiful and bleak Norfolk coast, to investigate a closed room murder mystery which local police believe has a foregone conclusion. But have the police got it right? Posey must race against the clock as the murder trial is scheduled to begin in just 2 days' time. A rights activist, the courageous Jervin Briscoe, will almost certainly face the gallows if she is convicted of her wealthy father-in-law's murder. But the murder victim and the chief suspect are already known to Posey from years before. But that knowledge doesn't make things easier, and Posey needs to push aside old hostilities in order to get at the truth. But is the truth too much and too dark for her to bear? That's a pretty cover, and I do love that title. Don't know why. I do. You should sorry to hear that, Kim. Hopefully that will change and then indulge in a four-legged or two. Yeah. Thought about a cat. The Scent of Nutmeg. What an unusual and sense-tugging title. Absolutely. I think that's what it gets to me. I don't think. Well, nutmeg. Yeah, I suppose I could smell nutmeg. I have a very bad sense of smell. Memoir for Murder by Angelica London. Part of Garden Mitchell Ghostwriter Cozy Mysteries. One books. So this must be the first. Even the upper crust can fall prey to murder. Freelance ghostwriter Garden Mitchell thinks she's going out to the charming town of Bramsville, Long Island, to write a memoir for the elderly UN matriarch. It's a great excuse for Garden to get away from her cramped Manhattan apartment. Her best friend Chase got her the job through his celebrity connections, but soon the town's quaint delights of Delights of turn rancid. Delights turn rancid when a corpse shows up where it shouldn't be. Garden just wants to get out of there. Instead, she gets roped into trying to figure out what happened. You can say no, hun. Say no. With Chase to help her, she's making progress, but not everyone in this little town is glad she's there. Maybe she should have just gone home after all. Every one of Ewan's has secrets. Some are about the family business, some are personal. There are recent secrets and some from long ago. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. The trick is knowing which ones are worth killing for. Jennifer Ashley has a new one. That is a gorgeous cover. Yep. Time just, and I do have this pre-ordered. Speculations in Sin by Jennifer Ashley, seventh in the Below Stairs Mysteries. To save an innocent man's life, amateur sleuth and cook Cat Holloway must expose a financial scam that could ruin the most powerful aristocrats in Victorian-era London. Cat Holloway is distressed to learn that Samuel Milburn, husband of the woman who looks after her daughter, has been accused of embezzling funds from the bank where he works as a clerk. The accusation is absurd, and Samuel's life fears that her husband will not only lose his post, but be imprisoned. Cat vows to uncover the truth. When she discovers the bank is involved in shockingly murky business dealings, Cat realizes she's treading in dangerous waters. She turns to her confidant and handsome suitor, Daniel McAdam, for help. To exonerate Samuel, Cat and Daniel may have to expose the unseemly financial dealings of prominent aristocrats and government officials, and even those working to bring down the royal family. Cat will risk everything to protect the man who has sacrificed so much for her daughter, even if it means endangering herself and the friends she has come to love. Ooh, and that is for today. And we have a commercial. So let's jump back here for a minute. There we go. Real life streaming, as Randy would say. Unfortunately, they will get worse. Love the idea of a cat Kim. They can have lots of personality and aren't as active, requiring walks and so forth. That's what I'm thinking. Just have to see if the girls I rent from will allow it. Plus, want to try and get some, of my other health issues straightened out. The bells, how they ring so quickly. Thanks, PK, for another fun start to the morning. You betcha. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I appreciate you so much. Being Monday, we do not have sprints tonight, but I do have sprints tomorrow evening at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. So I hope you have a very good Monday. Be taking care of yourselves, please. Be kind to yourself and to others. Read good books. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom, nom, nom. Good day and have a good day and God bless.